Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special bonus episode of the Pro Crastinators FILMCAST. We are film experts now, and we're here to break down all your favorites, all the greats.
Before anyone says that we've run out of ideas and we're grasping at straws and we're desperately trying to hold on to the power that we're obviously losing, and our patrons bleed money, and so we're going to become irrelevant, mysterious Mr. Ender is going to steal all of our jobs. I'm going to tell you right now, viewer, that this is the best idea we've had. We are not grasping at straws, and this is the true culmination of all the bonus episodes prior to this.
I hate to admit when you're right, but you're so right.
Why didn't we think of it before? Wait, why did nobody think of it before reviewing movies on the internet?
It's a good question.
Whoa,
and why not just go straight to
this
the
review?
This is the best one. We went straight to the best movie
Hey guys,
available.
it's me, Phantom Horn. I really like watching movies, and I want to
He
talk
doesn't
about
sound
them.
like that.
Shut
What
up!
an
It's can't.
imposter.
I say he does now.
Who are you
Hey.
to say?
I don't.
Who the hell are you?
I don't.
Ben Saint?
I don't know. He
You're
says,
ruining the sanctity of the
looking at his
character.
hands as they slowly fade away into non-existence.
All right, guys. This movie that we watched, Ant Bully.
Ant
If you don't
Bully.
know, the reason we watched this is because I remember that the Ant Bully exists, and like a soldier experiencing PTSD, I felt nothing but joy, and I wanted to go back to my lands where I experienced such harshitudes. And
you
here
watch
we
this
are.
movie
We
as a
experienced
kid?
on a stream. You can go watch the Revelation, and then you can literally say to one another, "We gotta do that on a PCP," and here we are.
Yeah, it was said, and now it is so.
Did you watch
Ant
this
Bully
movie?
is going to be reviewed right now.
Did you
Go.
watch this movie as a kid, Munchie?
Yeah, I watched it in the theaters, and then I walked out of the theater, and I was like, wow. Then I just walked right back inside, and I just watched it again right after that, like 2 times in a row. Because I was so impressed.
Who else? Has anyone else seen it before?
No.
No.
No?
God,
Okay, I don't think
God.
anybody else had seen it. I
Never.
haven't.
This is like one of the... Okay, I didn't realize it. I didn't, think consciously, Ant Bully, the most influential piece of artwork in my entire life. But
Right.
after watching it, I can clearly trace back almost every thought and feeling I've had to this movie. There's one scene in particular that's so, ingrained in my DNA. If you were to, splice me and put me into, some Frankenfruits, you would just be, in effect, creating the Ant Bully fruit, if you catch my drift.
I went and did a little research and found out that is incredibly accurate, that those things you just said. And there's some deep lore about this film. Let me just ask you, do you know who directed this film, Munchie?
No, I saw the name, fucking Alex Johns, which I feel like just is a cover-up for Alex Jones.
Okay.
That's what I said before
maybe
the
that's
stream
true.
as
I
well.
will say that a couple times the wizard's voice sounded very familiar, but I couldn't place it.
Oh, is that true? Is that
Guys,
coy?
okay, we have to talk about the cast, but first
Yeah,
let me address
yeah.
the director. No, okay. The director of this film is John A. Davis. Does that name sound familiar at all?
No.
Does this movie remind you of anything at all? Maybe the
Star
aesthetic?
Wars.
Star Wars, huh? Okay, well,
reminds
let me
me
just...
of ANTZ, the other one.
let me drop this bomb on you. John A. Davis had worked in the film industry for quite a while, but from 1997 to 2006, when this movie was produced, he was working on a little show called Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius.
No,
Yes,
fucking
he is the
way.
creator and the mastermind behind Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, that's that. I can
and
see it
beyond
now.
beyond that, I did research into his career. So clearly, this movie, he had worked on Jimmy Neutron for 8 years or something. It culminated in this film, his big breakout success with fucking Julia Roberts and that guy who plays Nicolas Cage, everybody.
Bruce Campbell.
everybody.
Okay. That stupid fucking
Bruce
terrible
Campbell.
character, the adventurous ant, is fucking Bruce Campbell
Yeah,
of
it's
Evil
Bruce
Dead
Campbell.
fame.
Oh,
We have to get into that, but let me just say,
Crazy.
after this movie comes out in 2006, his career stops. It's over. There's nothing released after this movie in his entire career until this year. Oh, wait, no, sorry. 2010 to 2011, Planet Sheen comes back onto the scene, which I had never heard of until looking into this now.
Oh,
But
I've seen a
aside
few
from
episodes
that,
of
it was
that. It's
gone
really good.
until
Really good.
he had been involved in a couple of little video games related to Jimmy Neutron, so obviously basically nothing. And then this year, 2018, he's involved with art direction for some miscellaneous
Bully
movie,
2.
and he's nothing. He evaporated after this movie came out. incredible.
This
You know, I
is
should
really
check
like
Rotten
the
Tomatoes.
Titanic of movies. It was so big, and it's like Icarus. It flew too close to the sun. It tried to tackle too like deep of themes. Okay, guys.
It's 63% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, but the audience score is 42%.
Let's cut the shit fucking right now.
Yeah.
Scores. And what I'm about to say is not me trying to grandstand or, act like I'm above you guys by seeing the hidden value in this movie. But unironically, I'm giving it like a 7, and I enjoyed it more than an Oscar of the Valley of the Wind. I enjoyed it unironically more.
More than Oscar?
I'll just come out and say that just against all my instincts, I actually enjoyed this film significantly.
It was great.
I thought it was pretty dang good.
Yeah,
all right.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Disclaimer: I did watch it at 1.5 speed, so that might have increased my. It might have gained a point for that. I think it increased the pacing significantly.
Right. I don't have a score, but I agree that surprisingly it's good. The things that hold it back are really just the gross stuff.
Yeah,
aside from that, it's actually kind of a nice, interesting adventure movie.
Only a couple of things were seemed really puerile and dumb.
Surprisingly, it doesn't have
surprisingly,
I don't think it has too many gross things. A few gross things, but not as many fart jokes as I almost expected it to have. But
it starts off with one I was afraid that was going to be pervasive.
For me, it's I would rate it as inoffensive, so maybe a 5. What I think held it back is too many things were there just because the plot needed it to be there. And I think that's what it held back. It didn't feel like it was natural. It just felt like it was
when they glided with those
gliding,
flower petals on that fan, I was just like, come on, guys, they're really tugging at my believability
the gliding really
right now.
annoyed me. They tried to set it up with him seeing the petals blowing on the winds, but it's come on, you don't know this is gonna work. They're jumping off the table right over these rotating fan blades, and 99% likelihood that they're just gonna drop into the fan and be destroyed.
And one did in fact drop into the fan and was miraculously way better than everybody else.
I can understand because he's an ant, and I think if you dropped an ant into a rotating fan, it would probably be fine, right? Because they're tiny and they're extremely resilient.
He wouldn't win because of it, though, which is what happened.
No, but he probably wouldn't die, so I'm fine with that.
Despite all of the anti-colonial, anti-white, anti-human sentiments I unironically read into this movie, and all the Star Wars ripoff, it was genuinely an enjoyable experience. And there's so many shit that you can put into this movie, and you can just think, that's where the Munchie idea came from. This is what made Munchie is this movie. There's so many little key points and dog whistles that you can pick up on the ants that are speaking about. Or you just think, of course Munchie turned out brainwashed. Of course, because he watched Ant.
No, you were in this movie. You were the bully. You were the big guy in red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought, it's Munchie. Beating up small people, just like
beating up soy boys.
My favorite thing about the whole of this movie is how it's just so blatant and obvious with its theming and message. The kid at the beginning says, "I'm big and you're small."
The thing about this movie,
it's so barefaced that it's actually great.
It is for children. It is for
What?
children.
No,
there's really no getting around it. And if you enjoyed it, you have the mind of a child, if not the body.
Here's the biggest disappointment. The biggest disappointment in the movie for me was when I realized that that Zoc was not the main character, but that fucking Lucas was the main character.
It was a shame.
Nic Cage Ant is literally Ben. Literally you relate to him so much.
Guys, can we? All right, hang on.
I loved Zoc, I looked at the IMDb page and I see why he sounds familiar because he's fucking Nicolas Cage. Yeah. So that explains that.
Okay, stop. We have to address the fucking cast list for this movie because it is absolutely out of this fucking world.
It's crazy.
Listen to this.
It's fucking
Listen
crazy.
to this. All right. Hova, whatever. It doesn't matter the names. Julia Roberts, Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep, Paul Giamatti, Zach Tyler, who is Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender, is the main character. Regina King, Bruce fucking Campbell,
Bruce Campbell is the craziest one to me.
Ricardo Montalban, and then a bunch of people
Lily
who I don't
Tomlin
know, so I don't care.
Is a name that I know.
Larry Miller, he's in that. Whatever.
Okay, so the voice of the Beetle sounded very familiar to me, but looking at him, he's Rob Paulson, person who I do not know by name, but I am sure that I have heard his voice in many other places.
I felt the same way. That was the one in the frog's stomach, right?
Yeah. The one that shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm a beetle who loves water, but I'm not a water beetle. Isn't that funny?" And then he's like,
that was
gone.
funny. Actually,
I actually thought that was a pretty funny scene. That he's just like the kid's like, "Oh God," and then he looks and the guy's just gone because he's dead because he's been eaten.
That was good. That was appropriate.
Yeah. God, wait. Can we? Was anyone else fucking horrified when he gets eaten by the frog and the bug like
inside,
and he picks up like his friend's severed head and like his entrails are hanging out the bottom of it.
Yeah. Okay,
it's
crazy. It was like gruesome. It was so
actually
gruesome.
That was the most hardcore moment in the whole movie, by far.
Disgusting.
It was really scary.
Terrible.
Can we please talk about how Shrek ruined 3D animation, and it is only just now recovering? Shrek set the precedent for all 3D animation to be gross. There's no way that you can make a 3D animation in a post-Shrek world and have it not be gross. Because, like, oh, Shrek did it, that's what sells. That's what people
anime.
like. It's just fucking
Anime's
awful.
not gross.
Okay, when the kid, Zach, whatever his name is fucking eating...
Lucas Nickel.
Lucas Nichols.
Yeah,
He's eating the shit. He's eating the
hero.
green shit.
He's eating poop, yes.
And you see the close-up of his lips.
The close-up of the mouth.
You can see the wrinkles in the lips and him chomping away and all the steam oh my God, it's the fucking worst thing ever. Directly after that, there's like 2 to 3 whole seconds of just him about to barf. Just like the camera focusing, forcing you to watch him go...
Like at first I was about to puke just because of the gross zoom in on his mouth, and then I got that the intention was to then like truly gross you out by revealing that it was poop, but it was effective enough just on its own.
Okay. Despite
the
fact
humans
that
in this movie look pretty fucking grotesque.
Oh,
but look, can we talk about the mom and how thick she is? She's the thickest woman.
I noticed it. I noticed it in the last shot when she gets out of the car and she's walking to the house.
Guys,
God
I
damn.
saved images. I saved images for your enjoyment, everybody.
Dear.
Our delight, I'm sure.
Didn't notice it until the very
succulents.
end.
Wait, this is
but
the
at
wrong.
the very end, I was like, all
Look at
right,
it.
sick.
Okay, I'm posting
glad
it
I
now.
caught that.
Put this on screen, Barry. Look at the incredible ass on this woman. This is beyond Mrs. Incredible levels.
This is like Dexter's mom. Level.
Yeah, well, why is no one talking about this? Everyone's just going crazy over Mrs. Incredible, but then you got this succulent piece of chicken. This succulent, sweet little sweetie.
This well-bred bird she is.
This broodmare just walking out in the street, and we haven't claimed her yet. What's going on, guys? Come on. And then you got that hot little piece on the far left, and just I don't know.
You know, just to juxtapose this, the movie was gross. But just let me post an image or two here that I saved. Look at the incredible, actual, beautiful cinematography in some of these shots.
I will say that like the character designs are like really badass.
Oh my God. Okay, Ben, I'm sure you're gonna agree with me. That fucking scene with the cave scrawlings was literally unironically great. It was just a great scene in a great movie.
Super
looking good.
I feel like the way this movie was put together is like Ant movies were big at the time. I think.
With
they got all the big stars, all the big like great animation, but they were like misguided on like what to put in it. They just didn't have a good writer, and that's the only thing they didn't really have.
They were like, if Woody Allen can fucking do an Ants movie, and like it's, I mean, I don't even know how successful it was, but it was okay, I guess.
All right,
I don't think Ants did very well.
I want you to imagine a scenario where fucking DreamWorks, Jason Katzenberg, or whatever his name is, didn't ruin animation and make 3D animation popular, and also this movie was like just a little bit better. If it was 2D animated and just like slightly above the level that it's at writing-wise, it would be literal Kino, like fucking like everyone remember like, oh yeah, like I love Ant Bully. I remember Ant Bully. It was so iconic. Literally, that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Bugs Life I do remember, but probably because I saw it 1,000 times.
All the scenes of the Ant Queen. The Ant Queen is cool as hell.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah,
she's
my
this
favorite.
giant goddess with
By
like,
the way,
she's
it
a
has
terrible
eyes.
monarch, by the way. She does not understand PR at all. If she was a real monarch, she would have
No.
been overthrown right then and fucking there.
No, she's not meant to
When
be
the
a monarch.
people
She's meant to
want
be a
blood, they
goddess.
want blood.
The set design implies that she does not move from that spot ever.
Probably true, because you got a big fat ass.
I did not see any like place for her to go. Just like these butterfly wings just close in front of her, and then she's just stuck there. Like,
Well, maybe
She's
that's
busy
true.
making
Okay.
ants.
We're jumping around a lot, but
Yeah.
the ending scene is unironically better than Star Wars. It's a
Okay,
Star Wars
that
ripoff.
one
It
shot-
just
Dude.
is fucking the Death Star.
mean, like,
scene.
when
That
It's
one
way
shot,
better.
that one shot of the actual, he's listening to classical music and the death cloud, where
Yeah.
you just see thousands of ants and flies
Okay,
all drop to their
that-
deaths
that
at once.
playing
That was an
that-
incredible shot. I loved that.
Playing that song over a scene of like genocide is a bit cliche.
But that was what they were going
but
for.
It was effective. Yeah. It was an
I
effective
felt that
use
that
of
was
a
deliberately-
well-worn trope. Yeah, it was definitely. It was like deliberately calling back to like, scenes like the one in oh god, is it Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, with the bombing
helicopter
run.
attack. I think it's Apocalypse Now.
That's Apocalypse Now, yeah.
And then when they put the fucking goo on the stinger of the wasp and it hits him right in his fucking arsehole.
Oh my god.
Literally great.
Dude, the fate of the villain is
Yeah.
so horrible.
Oh, terrible.
It's awful.
I thought
It's
it
like
was
that
going to
forever
be
now.
small.
Yeah.
Well, okay, speaking of the fate of the
it's
villain, we
terrible.
do have to discuss the moral ramifications of what's actually going on in the film.
Well,
Where
oh,
basically-
of course, bring in the morals on an ant boy.
Well, okay, so the moral that we're given basically is that, okay, don't bully ants because ants have moral and intellectual agency.
Hang on. I mean,
What?
in this world, that's true. I don't know if it's telling
but
the
how
viewer.
can we learn anything? Okay, I guess
Well,
what they're
it
saying
was- it was
is
that one scene. That one
moral
Teens are
scene.
extremely confused.
The
in this
moral,
movie.
no,
It's not
I don't.
really
I don't think they
No,
are.
the moral's about accept people who are different than
The moral is not don't bully ants. The moral is that
Yeah.
weak people can work together to do great things.
But
Yeah.
the
There was that
exterminator
scene
really
where they
does
were
not
looking at the
deserve
city.
his punishment. I don't feel.
I mean, he
Well,
is
no,
an
humans
ass-
are ignorant.
He scammed the kid into signing a contract.
He is
we gotta
an
break
ass-
this
he
down,
is an asshole scumbag, but he did not deserve
Yeah,
that.
to be midgetized forever.
Can we talk?
like,
Okay, so just to be
yeah.
clear, to people who have not seen the film, what happens to the villain in the end is
Wait,
he gets
we
injected with
we should explain what like the premise of the film is that
Yeah.
the kid is bullying these ants. The kid, he's getting bullied by other kids, and like
Yes.
he takes his frustration out by like fucking with this anthill. He like sprays water down it and like kicks it over and stuff and fucks with
Thus
these
the
ants
cycle
and is
continues.
ruining their life. And they know him as the Destroyer. So what they do is this ant wizard named Zoc, who is fucking awesome by the way,
is played by
Zoc-
Nic Cage
Nick
and
Cage.
literally
Yeah.
Ben. Just imagine
Zoc-
it is Ben but an ant.
So
Which he already
Zoc,
is.
Zoc concocts a potion to shrink him, and so they drip this potion down his ear, and they shrink him down to ant size, and they take him in, and they decide that his punishment is like they're going to integrate him into the hive and make him into an ant. And in the end, what they do to the villain, this exterminator who tricked the kid into signing a contract to, have the ants exterminated, is that they sting him with a stinger covered in the same potion. And I guess it's only a half dose because it doesn't shrink him down to ant size. It just kind of pseudo shrinks most of him. So he ends up as this like asymmetrical, deformed like midget.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's very upsetting.
It's justified.
Well,
It's not
No.
justified.
Okay, it would be. It's not just because he doesn't know that the ants have agency and are intelligent, and that's why this whole moral is out the fucking window.
It
and I
is
think
out
it's
the fucking window.
unjust that he was punished.
He's
thus.
just
I
doing
just
his
wanna
job. I
say-
mean, he was very scummy about trying to make like a 7-year-old or however old
10.
to sign a contract. But like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
exterminating
yeah.
stuff is his job. Like, and you're punishing him like
Is-
that.
Well, okay, but it was just the guards.
He's
at,
voiced
at,
by
at
Rudy
fucking
Giuliani.
Auschwitz.
He
It was just the
sucks.
guards
He's
at
bad.
Auschwitz's job
It's Paul
to
Giamatti.
funnel the Jews into the incinerators, but we don't let them off the hook either.
I just gotta ask: is it like a contract signed by a 10-year-old even like
Yeah,
correct?
It's
How
not.
that
don't
works?
think
It's not
so.
legal.
I
yeah,
don't
it's
think
really
so.
not.
That's
Like,
the most
oh,
unbelievable
I-
thing in this film.
If
I
it
want
was like
to
a
say,
teenager, maybe like a older teenager, not not like 13, but like I don't know, 15.
Well, like, the-
17.
I thought he was
kid's
going to
the-
straight up murder that child at the beginning when he
kid's not the
wasn't
one
going to sign it for a
the
minute.
kid's not the one paying for it. Like the dad's paying for it. The dad has to sign the fucking contract.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, you'd think so. It doesn't
Like,
make any sense.
It's
like
like
his
Home
plan-
Alone 2.
I think his plan was like to bring the contract later to his dad. Was like, oh, your son signed it,
Well,
so pay up. But
No.
it's
In Home
void.
Alone 2, the what's-his-face concocted a series of stunts to impersonate his parents, so he did, they addressed.
I thought it was legitimately funny when, like, the kid doesn't want to sign the contract, so the exterminator just, like, mocks him mercilessly.
Calls him a bitch.
Calls him a little baby bitch.
Yeah.
And so he's just he's like mooning him and like you know, being a big piece of shit. And then the kid's like, "Give me that contract," and then he snaps back to being. He's like, "Very mature decision you've made."
Yes.
I thought it was good.
I just want to call out that the very first line from Nicolas Cage is like, I'm just gonna use this in human terms. So he's just like prowling around some apartment complex. Imagine you just wake up in the middle of the night, someone's like scrumbling around. He's got a like pickaxe and he's mining the side of your like apartment complex wall. And you're like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "I must find the final ingredient for my potion. I have to find the potion ingredient. Stop."
I mean,
He's driven.
That was hilarious.
He's driven. He goes above and beyond. He's willing to risk the scorn of his peers to pursue his life's work.
Why was the fucking potion ingredient already in the anthill?
I
And
don't.
he didn't have it yet.
Well, I mean, you use iron to make swords, and iron is just in the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looked like an anthill created structure.
I mean, it's a literal magic potion, so, I mean, I don't know what that was exactly.
I mean, it's a natural ingredient.
Okay, guys, like, this is the first thing that I think is in the like that feels like it's just been placed in the movie for the sake of convenience, because he's the only mage wizard sort of ant.
He's a wizard.
Yeah, but he's the only one. No one addresses it, and no one questions it. There's no magic schools.
There's actually lore.
There's no
lore.
teachers.
There's implied backstory.
That's such a weird complaint. I don't understand.
There's implied
Well, tell us the
backstory because
backstory.
at the end, when Lucas becomes Star Wars, then he's given an ant name, Rokai, and Zoc says that is a wizard name. So
there's a proud lineage of wizards.
He also explains how there's a wizard class of ants when he's talking about like human civilization. So there just are wizard ants, but we just don't see any of them because they're often important stuff.
Did anybody
Obviously, they're very rare, and because they're super fucking powerful.
Did anybody else want him to start using the ant wizard name when he got back to human form? His mom called him Peanut, and he's like, "I'm Rokai now."
That name is too cool.
Don't use Lucas. That's my slave name.
No. He goes full Chunibyo at school, and he's like, "Hey kids, I've decided I'm gonna go by Rokai from now on. You gotta call me by my weeaboo Rokai name."
Oh, he wears his ant cosplay suit to school every day.
All right. Can we please talk about the anti-imperialism, anti-white, anti-human sentiments?
It's anti-capitalist. It's anti-independent enterprise. It is
What?
extremely
Wait.
communist propaganda.
So you're telling me that the humans don't all work together, but don't they see that every class is essential to building the colony?
Don't you know competition is only a negative force and has no positive effects on culture in the world? Don't you know?
The worst part of it is that he's like, don't they understand like that like masons and you know like builders and forgers, they all have their purpose, when that just is human civilization, and we have different classes of people who all work together to make civilization happen, and we're better than you ants because we have fucking technology and more cultivatable plants and better slave animals.
But they have wizards. They have wizards,
That is
Munchie.
true.
They have a fucking
here I go
wizard.
with my red pilling again. But like here it comes, like because this is a film for children, the childish ideal of a socialist world really appeals because it just emotionally feels good. Let's take care of each other, yay! Not really extrapolating that. We have a functioning world. Look at our spaceships and our skyscrapers. We're doing better than you. You're achieving nothing down here, even with magic. You're an embarrassment, ants.
Is
fuck off.
if like they combined the ant bully with the Bee movie, and they had like Rokai. Lucas would bring the ants to court to like sue the human race, but not like literally sue the human race, but to use that potion, like mass produce it, so have like
all right.
like an army of
Nate,
like turning people small.
Here's what I want. Imagine this being the plot of the Ant movie. He gets shrunk, but Lucas is not like a terror, but he just explains human technology and how to better like cultivate plants and shit like that. And they come with miniature versions of fucking like Mesopotamia, and then they just slowly progress at like amplified speed because they're tiny, and that makes sense. And then Lucas becomes god of the ants and shows ants the power of technology and takes over the world.
That'd be
ant
great.
Powers.
That's literally what the moral was in A Bug's Life. Remember remember how the guy used technology to improve the hive and like achieve things, and just like make everything more efficient and great?
Why the fuck is every like, oh, human interacts with other species, he gets shrunk movie? It's all like, humans are so shit and they can't do anything because they have
guilt.
2 feet.
That's what it is. This movie is pure white guilt.
When humans are, I'm sorry that they can't climb up walls, but we're meant to outmaneuver and out-stamina cheetahs. We're not meant for this, Ants. It's not our fault. You did this to us.
That brings me to what the fuck was going on. Like he can't climb a wall, like a sheer wall, because he's a fucking human.
Yes.
But then later, it's like
he just does it.
It sort of implies that like by getting in touch with his inner ant, he suddenly can climb sheer walls and
also,
like lift things 100 times his own
fly?
weight and shit.
Yeah. How did he pick up the giant fly as well?
And that's like because he like realized that being an ant is cool. Or something.
Imagine if he kept those powers when he got big again. Like he could lift 20 times his weight.
We do know magic is real in this universe. So
but only for
is it ant magic?
It's not even really implied to be magic though. It's not like he gets like a swirl around his chest.
He believes.
I think it's that he just believes.
No,
this is a simplistic narrative.
I think he created his wand. He created these potions. He's like an alchemist.
But
I'm gonna go full Jordan Peterson and say, because the deep archetypal story embedded in this is something as simple as like be good and like be nice and believe in yourself, that it doesn't resonate with an audience the way that A Bug's Life does, in that it's like have the entrepreneurial spirit, go out and do things and adventure to improve your world for yourself. Don't just be like nature and believing ourselves is how we do, and that resonates more
with people.
I'm saying that Bug's Life does way more than this movie.
I think being nice to one another resonates a lot with the layman.
It's too simplistic, and it sets off their bullshit alarms. That's my contention.
Helping each other does, but like believing you can turn into an ant and then just being able to lift a wasp really easily is silly.
That was really bad. And in hindsight,
it just adds nothing really.
Is it something? Okay, what if it's like this though? What if it's like this? It's a thing that like all along he could have done that because when he shrank, proportionally speaking, his strength was still quite high. But it's just that because he was so small, he kind of contextualized things the way he would have when he was really big. So he would have proportionally speaking, he always had this power to lift things that were big, but he only used it when he believed he had the power of an ant or something.
They could have made that clear, and it could have made sense, but they didn't, and it didn't.
But
what about the climbing thing though?
But Nicolas Cage ant avoiding having sex with women is impossible. A wizard knows no such word.
And what did he say? He said at one point he does throw out the phrase, "No relationship is worth this." A fellow MGTOW,
a fellow wizard. He's a
Zach
wizard. He literally
is the
says
best. Yeah, a fellow wizard. Oh, by the way, did anyone think it was weird? All right, this isn't a big point, but he went way out of his way, in my opinion, in the script to call the girl specifically his girlfriend, and I'm like, that's a very weird position for this obvious like life partner of yours to have in this ant civilization.
Why is that
Why not
weird?
like wife or something?
Why is that weird?
Because
I
by
don't know,
the end of the movie, he had to win her in some way.
Listen.
How do ant relationships even work with actual ants? I think they went for girlfriend because of the
what the fuck? There aren't real wizard ants.
Let me play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
And by devil's advocate, I mean speaking the truth. I think that like her being
as the devil does,
her being his girlfriend makes the possibility that the relationship might end more like possible, like it's more likely to happen.
That feel when your Aunt GF breaks up with you for an underage member of a separate species,
which is why he literally only saved the kid's life to impress his girlfriend. Literally, that's literally what happened.
Guys, I
very
think,
anti-MGTOW.
I think mostly it's because if you call her a wife, then she's like a married woman, and that can be associated with queen. But they already have a queen, so to avoid confusion for the little kitties.
Wait a minute. How?
Yeah.
Hold on. Are there even female ants other than the queen?
No.
Well, all worker ants in real life are female, as I understand it, and then like there's like concubine ants that are male that they breed with the queen specifically.
So maybe Hova and black sassy voice of reason ant. Maybe they're both like worker ants.
Why? Okay,
yes,
because that other guy was a scout ant.
Not against the idea,
Well,
but why
I mean,
are
she's
there
draft
the
comic
other,
relief
the sassy
fans?
one.
Huh?
She's-
Well,
I guess
the
there
answer is
doesn't have to be
the
a
other one is
reason for
Scout.
the black
Then
ants.
there's a
I mean,
No.
it was just
Why-
it
they
was
have
just
to
clearly an
justify
ant
themselves.
who was
Yeah.
designed to look more black and also was played by a black actress, obviously just for the audience's
Well,
sake to
the
get some
red ants
diversity
and black
going.
ants are generally like
Ha
what black
ha.
ants are like the worker ants and red ants are the soldier ants, aren't they?
No.
Sometimes.
Completely wrong.
No, those are two different
wha-
species, aren't they?
Yes.
No, like they look different color, but they're in the same thing. I've seen ants before. I looked at
Well,
ants.
I don't think you have.
All right.
Why?
Obviously, fucking Eurotrash don't even know about ants.
We got
Okay.
different ants, maybe.
Okay,
Maybe we got different ants.
obviously they made the main character a child so they could relate to children. But imagine if they got a true diplomat and they shrunk the diplomat and it was just a story about exploring, like how to fix broken ant civilization by introducing the white man's burden, aka the human's burden. and
But
taking
no,
care of the
they are the
ants.
noble savage. Their society is perfect. We have only to learn from them. They can't take anything from us in this movie, which is
Hey,
basically
Hey Nate,
it's kinda-
remember when you were a little baby boy and we were living in Texas and you got stung to shit by fire ants?
I think I'm too young. I don't remember that actually, but it
It
sounds
was-
awesome.
It was really
That's why I have a
fucking
vendetta
funny.
against this movie and all movies.
That's all.
Okay.
I just wanted to say it was fun. I just wanted to rejoice at your suffering.
Yeah.
Speaking of casual racism, that
Yeah.
fucking scene of the ants, devising the plan and dripping the goo into his ear. It's like when you arrive in the Great Plains of Virginia. You're the first shipment of sub-Saharan African slaves, and you are waddled off the boat, and you are branded with the mark of your master. But instead of just being branded with like a logo, I was branded with every single individual frame of that transformation scene. And now, whenever I look down at my hideous, deformed body after years
Yeah.
of abuse, I can see every frame of him turning little via goo. And it just reminds me of my place in society. I just think I that scene will forever be in my mind. I'll never be able to forget it. It's with me forever now.
It was a good scene.
But in what way did it impact you?
Okay.
was so
I have
fucked
not
up?
seen.
I don't
I have
know.
not seen that movie
I'm
in
back.
years. Obviously, probably 10 years, like a long fucking time. But there was basically no part of me that did not remember every single scene transition, every single lighting and sound effect, every single piece of foley. I remembered every single bit of from when the ants from when the storm starts and they break into his house and then they drip the goo and then he falls down the fucking blankets. It just took with me because of the it was just artistry. It was like a tapestry. It's like every frame of painting, the vibrant yellow of the goo, and then the absolute terror of him realizing that he's tiny. Then he turns naked, and I love seeing people naked. And then he sees the big ass video game, and it screams at him,
Remember
"Frog
that
flyer!"
point- Remember
and
the
then,
time when
it's
Julia
great. It's just
Roberts
great.
looks at his dick and is like, "Wow, that's how you tell you're male." Literally, that's what happened in the film.
Yes. Yeah.
She looked at
All
a
right.
little boy's dick.
Yeah. Although he was wearing a loincloth at the time, so I was wondering
No,
in
he
the
was
scene,
taking it
literally,
off.
how was he still
Yeah,
naked
I
at
don't
that
think
point?
he was wearing it.
By the way,
Okay, all right, my bad.
I really did like in that transformation sequence when he opens his eyes and he's like, "Huh, what's that? Am I in a blue desert?" And
look
his
cool.
bed sheets look really cool. I want to explore that in Mario Odyssey.
They didn't really look like bed sheets though.
They look like
that's
a
true.
blue
They weren't
desert.
thready or
It-
anything.
It kind
Yeah.
of looked like one of those mattresses, soft foam, memory foam.
Yeah. I
Oh
know what
yeah,
you
the
mean.
ones you put under the wavy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eggshell ones.
Here we are, boys, the ancient land of ants. I want a sweet rock. Stop.
Stop it, Elvin. Stop
Hey,
it. Not in
hey.
front of the queen, Elvin. Not in front of the queen. You're ruining this.
Were those officially branded Jelly Belly jelly beans?
I would have no doubt if there was product placement out the ass in this movie.
I
It seems
believe
like the type.
They were
They were
on
definitely
brand.
called Jelly Belly. So
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's a yes
So
then.
that
That's
were
a yes.
yeah, that was and I think it. I mean, I think it's pretty good product placement. That isn't weird or shitty at all.
Remember when the fascist wasp was like, no, please, I was just following orders, like literally Nuremberg trials.
Okay, but I do want to just say, literally, hashtag I stand with wasps. Or what is it? I thought they were flies. Are they wasps?
I thought
They were
wasps.
definitely
They
wasps.
I am hashtag team wasp,
tiny waists.
100%. The fascist
thought-
wasps were the best characters.
They
in this
looked
film.
were
fucking
hornets.
awesome.
Yeah,
And
they
then
were so sick.
when the one goes down in the final battle, and he's like, I'm done, little ant. But then he finds his ant strength and he carries him to safety anyway.
Literally ultimate pathos, and then as just as two twin warriors, they lock eyes as the fellow wasps have come to take him after little Peanut has saved him. He just says, "Thanks," and then just goes off. What a fucking champion!
I love those I love the battle scene where they just attack, and it's just a really like actual war scene that's actually
actual war.
great. And then later
like
they come to reason
people
with
are fucking dying
with
like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's-
there's
it's-
so much death. Like at least like 25% of the population is fucking gone. Like
But
they
they
did
produce,
not.
like, 1 million
they didn't
every
make
day,
it
so.
unscathed, dude. I mean, okay,
No,
maybe
no.
the ants.
Anyone that was in that cloud fucking died.
Yeah, they're like
Well, yeah,
a
that's
ton
true,
of. You
that's
see,
true.
like easy hundreds of deaths on screen. On screen.
We do absolutely.
Think about what
and
we
by the
don't
way,
see.
it's just so like
yeah.
my human brain would tells me that like the idea of them just casually going to the wasps and then like after a very brief like thing they're like, okay, we'll help you, and then they're helping, that would in my human brain seems like that's kind of lame. But in my ant brain, my real brain,
Yeah.
Well,
it was the coolest thing ever, and I really liked when they were flying on the hornets.
I don't think it's that crazy because they don't believe them and they're gonna eat them until the other wasp comes and he's like, the fucking cloud is here and our entire like western hive is dead. And they're like,
Yeah, but,
okay,
like,
I guess
important.
maybe we should do something about this.
Yeah, but the wasps had not like been much part of the movie. They were in one scene before, and
that's
there
right.
was no reason to believe that they had like even a civilization or a leader or like other hives or anything. It's just like
That's
a bunch
true.
of guys.
Well, I mean, they do
but-
in real life.
Wait,
so.
doesn't the one say like I was just following orders when he goes
Yeah.
down?
you know-
Yeah. That's what I just said. Yeah.
There
Alright,
really
yeah,
should have
yeah,
been
yeah,
like
good.
more character development for the wasp because this
Yeah,
movie
but
is all
despite
about
that,
like
it was still great.
I think it
felt
totally
worked pretty
agree.
well.
But
I
like
think it
this
worked
movie
pretty well.
is about like disparate groups working together, and like the way that like so the ants do have something to learn at the end of the movie, and it's that they don't like work with like the wasps, like they're enemies, and at the end they do come together, united under a common front, and they successfully defeat the exterminator, and they do that stuff. Which obviously is the parallel to like the humans and teaming up and
Boy,
whatever.
they sure are lucky that the
But,
exterminator
like,
was exterminating all of the bugs and not just the ants, or else they'd be shit out of luck.
Yeah, but what I wonder
True.
is we don't see any wasps at the end of the film. Was this just a really, truly a temporary stalemate, and they will go back to killing each other tomorrow?
Okay. The wasps.
I mean, the
have
ants
to
are their
eat.
prey.
Yeah,
They
the wasps have to
No,
eat.
no,
They
the
have to
ants
eat.
are not their prey.
Oh, it's the caterpillars, right?
Yeah, they kill, and that's their.
But there's a
cows.
fight for resources, and this fight has not disappeared. Unless,
Yeah,
okay.
I think we can believe that they're going to go back to fighting for resources. I mean, that's just nature.
But then
Red
he
of
gave,
tooth and claw.
but then Lucas gave him a bunch of sweet rocks. So like, there's no longer as much food.
that
problems.
won't last forever.
Well, you know
okay.
the wasps
I
are going to
don't-
be after those sweet rocks.
Well, yeah, he can provide many for all of them.
Yeah,
Forever, though?
but they're
Forever?
not even like no matter how much there is. Like, okay, even if he gives them more sweet rocks than they could possibly ever eat, their populations are just going to expand to the point that they will be consuming all of the rocks, and then they will inevitably have to fight for resources again. It's just nature.
That's true.
But that's
Wait,
okay.
guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I am solemn right now. All the joy is gone from my face, and I'm blue from what I'm about to tell you. There's a plot hole. There's a plot hole in this movie.
no!
And I don't. I
take
don't
back
want to
everything
ruin it.
good I said.
I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So, like, skip a couple minutes ahead. I'm gonna ruin it. Okay. So, just to repeat. So the ants, they want to shrink the kid. So they go into his house, they get up to his bed, and then they put the goo in and he turns smaller, and the plot goes. Then the ants go back with the kid into his house. They get in, and then Lucas is like, oh, the shag carpet. It will take days to get to my room from here.
Oh, no.
And they act as though this, like the ants would have been able to know they could do the pedal strat like they do the second time around. So where do you make up the time? Like is there just like days passing off screen that we don't realize? It doesn't seem like it. How would they get food?
Let me propose a solution. Maybe the ants, because at this point Lucas didn't know how to climb on walls. Maybe the ants could have just walked on the walls to get where they were going, and they wouldn't have had to deal with the shag carpeting.
Okay,
if Lucas wasn't with them.
we see the ants continuously forget that Lucas can walk up walls and just do it without him. Like even like his friends Hova and the other guys will just walk up walls and be like, "Oh right, you can't come," and they'll devise another solution. But they didn't even try. They didn't even attempt anything. And you'd think that they would say, "Hey, let's just walk up the walls." If they are going to risk their lives and limbs to do this untested pedal strat.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think we can
walk up to the edge of the shag carpeting. I'm sure it ends at some point.
Well, why
Okay.
didn't they
Munch is
try
just
on
right
the second
here.
time?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Munch is
True,
just
they
right.
could have explained that. I think you could imagine some way that the ants could have gotten there faster, and the ants could have gotten there without dealing with the shag carpeting.
Then
There's
why
also
didn't
the
they-
possibility.
Yeah, but
there's
then
other-
why didn't they use that method the second time when they were getting back into the house?
Because
Is the
Lucas
question.
couldn't do it. Because Lucas is the one that sees the shag carpeting and is like, this is going to take days.
But they didn't
and then
bring
he
it up.
But,
and then
alright,
he sees
here-
they
you could-
don't comment on it. Maybe they weren't even thinking about the shag carpeting, and it's just Lucas saying, "Hey, we got to do it this other way."
No,
And-
you'd
and-
think that they would
and,
say anything about it.
Maybe, yeah.
All right.
I
fucking-
remember when.
It
I
could
remember.
be
I remember.
that, like Lucas said, it'll take days, and he was exaggerating because he has no idea how long it's gonna take.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
I think
Just
think
head
it
straight,
seems far
honestly.
fetched. The hanging pedal scene.
Guys,
is
we
You
got
know,
we got to
seems
get
far-fetched.
Mr. Enter
Okay,
into the
you
call
know,
real
see what
quick.
seems-
We're gonna
what
bring in
seems
Mr.
weird?
Enter to settle this question real quick. Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Enter. I'm here. I just want to let you know that this is in fact a major flaw of the film, so we're just gonna have to deduct 10 points from the
Mr.
score.
Enter, I love your videos. Hey, what software do you use? I want to make videos just like you.
I use Windows Movie Maker.
Wow.
It's a quality
That's a good
program.
joke.
You should get.
Okay,
Goodbye.
guys, watch us aside.
Oh.
But
He's
Guys.
gone.
guys, okay,
Yeah, we
destroyed him.
watch us aside. Where did the frogs come from? Because it's like on the front lawn. Okay, so he made a puddle at the very beginning.
Those guys were absolute units.
But-
I liked him.
But then like 3 to 4 frogs appeared over like a night or two. Like where did they come from? It's like a suburban neighborhood, and it's
It was
just
like
a puddle.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there could be a lake relatively nearby that the frogs are hopping around, and then they
And
get over.
yeah,
We don't
yes,
really-
they went from a lake to a single tiny puddle.
I mean,
possible.
those frogs could have been relatively small frogs. Like
No,
those
I
are
actually
not-
have no problem with this, and I'll tell you why. My house in Massachusetts, where I grew up, had frogs in the front of the house sometimes, along the side of the house, where there's a swamp behind my house, but that is quite far from the front
Yeah,
of my house.
Those were
And-
like kind of like thinner, like brown toads, or maybe not. Maybe they
I
were.
mean, I
frogs. I don't
suppose
know.
so.
They didn't
Well,
look like
they
these were
sort of-
these were like big green bullfrogs
Okay,
that were
yeah,
definitely
to be
like
fair, yeah,
aquatic.
originally I thought they were probably toads, but they toads hop and frogs leap, and it sort of looked like they didn't know the difference between a toad and a frog, so they just smushed the two
Yes,
together.
these are the sort of details
Okay,
I
okay.
don't care about.
Okay,
do.
hold on. But very importantly, the bug, while getting digested, calls it a toad by he makes the pun toadstool. That could just be a joke, and the
could be a
the
joke.
bug does not know the difference. But I
Oh
choose
god,
to
I didn't
believe
even
the
get
beetle.
that. I didn't even get that fucking pun watching
you're
this
too
film.
low IQ. You're too low
Wow,
IQ.
this movie's way over my head.
Yeah, literally.
Gross.
Because it's like,
Can we talk
hi.
about that fucking severed head again? Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, can we talk about the worst character ever devised?
Yeah.
The stupid fucking Bruce Campbell ant who literally ruins the movie.
Yes.
Zach
He was the
Brannigan
worst
one?
character?
He's
by
not
far.
great.
You know, I mean, okay, to be fair, I think the sassy black one, who only exists to bounce off of him, like, he occasionally is kind of kooky. She exists only to be the straight man, which I would argue is more boring. So I would probably say she's
Okay,
the actual
I
worst
think-
character.
but the
Brilliant.
black lady doesn't make me upset. She doesn't like make me fucking like, oh my god, you're talking again.
I'm
Stop
more
it.
upset that Bruce Campbell played this character.
Yeah,
is what
okay,
I'm upset about.
yeah, sure. That is
honestly like that
I'm
end.
sad that
Oh, yeah?
Fugax ruined
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell's career.
Yeah,
That's
that was
his
a
name,
shame.
by the way, Fugax.
Fugax.
Why did you like that character, Mage?
I mean,
What'd you
like,
about him?
I didn't like super in love with it, but I didn't find him obnoxious.
Mage is making an ANTZ to ship with him right at this very moment. I know it.
No.
I feel it.
There were a few good jokes I don't remember at this point in time, but like I definitely got a chuckle here and there from him, and he wasn't as obnoxious as some other support characters from other
I didn't get a
animes.
Viewers, we
single
want
chuckle.
fan art. We want fan art of all of
No.
our Aunt Sonas.
Yeah, please do that.
Oh
Please
yeah,
do.
oh man, yeah. What's our insect sonas?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh
I mean,
man, yeah.
I'm just gonna be Zog.
My Aunt Sona, Roblox. He's a good man. He's strong. He's powerful.
My Aunt OC is just Zoc in a hat.
Dude, Zoki's
insect
just
OC or
literally-
ant
there's
OC?
Oh, it
no
could be
fucking
anything. There's a whole
difference.
world out there.
Let's talk about how I am Zoc and how Zoc is the greatest.
You're
okay.
literally you're just Nic Cage, and you're fiddling with fluids. You're lurking in your lair. You're screaming non sequiturs, and you're defying deities, and you're making your emotions powerful.
Yeah.
When the
Let's
movie
get way into
started,
Zoc.
when the movie started, and I saw Zoc, I was like, "Oh my god, is the main character of this movie a fucking wizard?"
Yeah.
Like how
That
cool
was
is
dope.
and then it was like, oh, there's a kid. But then it wasn't so bad because it kind of Zoc was kind of the secondary main character, so
Yeah,
it was
for
almost
sure, for
it was almost fine. I mean, he's like, this is a, like, sure, he's kind of different, right? He's kind of a fish out of water because he's different from the other ants. He's got like goals that, like, at the very beginning, he's like puts him a little out of step with like the wants of his fellow
But the elders still come to rely on him sometimes.
It seems at first like other people are annoyed by him, and the elder is kind of disparaging of him because he sees him playing grab ass with Harambe or whatever her name was. But then
that's literally what happens.
But then that kind of disappears, and like once Lucas comes in, it's like, okay, well, no, now the ants are down with Zoc, and now
this movie
Lucas
is basically a
the bad
shitty
guy.
version of the Princess and the Frog. I'm just going to throw that out there as a wild comparison, which there's 10 years.
But I
connection.
thought
by
the shitty version of the Princess of the Frog was called Princess and the Frog. Haha. But
no, it's the best Disney movie.
I thought a shitty version of The Princess and the Frog, I think by that you mean a better version of Star Wars. I think that's what you mean.
Well, yeah, those are synonymous, guys. Okay, let's talk about Zoc. I'm happy to do it. Nic Cage is a terrible actor, and I'm sick of people pretending that he's good at anything he does. He is a terrible actor, and he sucks, and he is
did
shit.
okay.
And it
I thought
pisses
he
me
was
off
fine
that
in
people
this.
pretend he's good because he's a meme. He is not good. He is
I didn't
not
notice
good.
I didn't notice any like weird shit that like took me out of it.
His acting is so stilted and bad, and he gets away with it because he's Nicolas Cage.
Give me an example in this movie,
I didn't
because
even know it
didn't
was
notice
Nicolas
anything
Cage.
like that.
If we were watching this right now, I would point out countless examples. Like, I don't have audio clips pulled up.
Point them out now.
you would.
Yeah,
Give us
right now.
timestamps. Give us fucking time. Watch the movie again.
Evidence.
Okay, I will supply you in the link in the description. I will supply a timestamp to this movie. Viewers, go watch the timestamp of the piece of the fucking episode of this movie that I will be linking to with that timestamp.
PCP, look,
and it will be shit.
Opinions cited in the description do not reflect that of the PCP. We do not endorse this view.
Have you seen
that
Lord
Nic
of
Cage
War
was
or
bad
whatever
in
it
this
is?
movie?
Have you
Look,
seen
that's
the Lord
a
of
different
what-
movie. That's a different movie.
I know.
don't
My
care
point
how
is that
bad he
Nicolas
was in Lord
Cage
of
is
War.
bad in that as well, and he's always bad.
He was-
He's always bad.
All right,
No,
that
there
sounds
was
like a
nothing wrong with
closed-minded
Zoc's
thought.
No,
bubble.
I've seen so many Nicolas Cage movies, and he's shit.
Look,
He's
I
terrible.
haven't seen
I-
Ghost
what the
Rider
fuck are you-
2007.
Nobody.
I
I
have
don't
seen
care.
Ghost Rider. I have seen Ghost Rider.
I've seen.
and it was an embarrassment.
I've seen Nicolas Cage be bad in movies. He was not bad in this movie.
That's
Yeah, Nate, you're
his
arguing as if
delivery
we
was
are
shit.
Nicolas Cage fans. Like I think
No,
he
okay.
was fine in this movie. I didn't know it was him, and I didn't have any problem with
I am
the ant
shocked.
who had his voice.
I am shocked that you couldn't tell that it was Nicolas Cage. I feel like a lot of people did, and I felt many times. So okay, we're in conflict, you and I, because I did notice it was Nicolas Cage, but despite that, I just thought there was many times his delivery was absolute garbage, and he
By the way,
sounded
Lord of War
incredibly
was
strange.
great. Lord of War is my fucking favorite movie of all time.
The movie is like fine. It just has this anomaly, this black hole that is Nicolas Cage's performance, and I feel like I'm literally taking crazy pills that other people don't see what I'm seeing.
I know. I see that film
Maybe you
is
should get off
good
the
because
sauce,
it's bad.
you fucking lush.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Look,
there's
that's
a
actually
few,
a good
like,
movie, but
there's
Nicolas Cage, his acting just is shit, and it's like, I
Oh,
don't
no,
understand why anyone
absolutely.
likes
In
it.
that movie, I think it's funny for the moments where he says funny things. But
I agree.
I didn't
like it for the
I didn't hear
lines.
anything funny in this movie specifically.
No.
You're crazy. You're all insane. He's shit. He's terrible. I don't understand it.
Time's
Alright,
back.
a lot of
eagerly- I
actors,
eagerly
a lot of
await your-
actors change their performance for the role. He is not one of these actors.
I eagerly await your examples in the description
yes,
showing
I will
me
provide
how wrong
so
I am.
many examples. At
Okay,
least one.
Hey
There
guys,
is
who
a
remember
scene.
who remembers the grandma?
The grandma was
Sure.
I
an
do. I don't
embarrassment.
understand what her role in the movie is.
She provided
It's
the
just
to
fan
be
for
silly.
the.
Yeah, but like that was
It could have just been a.
that was because there was a problem they needed to get through the house, and they thought how to get through the house.
There was one
Like
joke
Well,
that
they
okay.
put a fan there, and
Yeah,
why are the
no.
fans there? Because there's a grandma. Like it
There-
seems
there
like
was-
a really
there was
weird
very
backwards
important-
way.
Yeah, they
There was
literally
a very
could have
important
just had a
practical
fan.
role for the grandma
Yeah.
in this film.
It seems strange, and I don't
No,
really get
okay,
it.
I was thinking about that too. It makes sense why the grandma is the way she is. So she's painted from the beginning as like a weird conspiracy nut and also kind of senile. So she's like not really with everything. The reason they did that was because they had to write into the script an excuse why no one would notice why Lucas was missing. So by putting the grandma in charge,
yeah, but-
like
but the
they
sister
characterize
still
the
should've
grandma
noticed.
as basically just crazy, so she doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
and the
but-
older sister just is like a
Yeah,
disattached.
I think that without the grandma, nothing would have changed.
That's
liked-
true,
I liked
except
one
the
of
story
the
would have made
jokes.
less sense.
I
'Cause
liked one
I
of
was
the
thinking
jokes
throughout the
with the
movie,
How
grandma.
would it
like,
have made less sense? Like they put the grandma in specifically so that she would have a reason not to notice that that no one would
Yes.
believe her that Lucas was gone. Why
That's
couldn't
correct.
they just not have her and have nobody notice?
No, because it wouldn't make any sense otherwise for
Well,
nobody
the
to notice.
sister
Why?
might be old
But-
enough to actually take care of him, but we don't know. We
Yeah, the
could have
sister
made
doesn't
her
notice
old
either.
enough.
The sister doesn't notice either.
Frankly, that stretches my credulity already. The sister just never notices that he's gone for like how long were they gone exactly? A week?
A day.
Yeah.
One
day and a
day?
night.
No, there's at least
no,
several nights. At least a weekend. It's at least a weekend long.
Oh yeah, it is a weekend. That's
Okay,
the
okay.
vacation they were having.
Also, that's an extremely inefficient vacation to fly to like an equivalent of Hawaii or something for one weekend.
They went to. Okay, I actually have a question because he
Yeah.
was speaking Spanish, so that makes you think that he's flying to Mexico. But I thought they were talking about going to Hawaii. I don't understand.
yeah.
Where did they go?
They,
Did they go to the
mix
Philippines?
signals
just
there.
very
They mixed up a
stupid.
lot of signals.
Maybe they're just shitty white people.
No, they
Yeah,
had
okay.
been. They already been to
How-
Hawaii. Wasn't it in the painting or something or the
Yeah.
picture?
Well, you
yeah.
can go to
Yeah,
Hawaii
yeah,
twice.
yeah.
But
He
then why
went
were
to
they speaking
Hawaii.
Spanish though? They might just be dumb whiteys. That might be true.
Well,
That might
okay.
be true.
Well, are we sure that they actually went to Hawaii?
No.
No.
They
think
actually
they
say the name
probably
of the
did.
island, and it's not Hawaii, but it's
Well, I
something
think.
else.
By the way,
Okay, well then I think
the-
that all these complaints are dumb and don't make any sense then.
one-
Because
one-
clearly they went somewhere that spoke Spanish.
Something that's unrelated but kind of funny to note is that the father is only ever seen carrying 3 suitcases. I think they just made one model of him holding 3 suitcases and
God.
didn't want to give him
Yeah.
any other animations.
Hell yeah! Mod him into Smash, you guys, with the suitcases. I want to
Oh,
play.
did
as that guy.
Did anyone get frustrated at the mom's
Yes.
reaction to realizing that the dad was asking her to open the door?
That scene was so embarrassing.
And when she realizes that he's asking her to open the, she reacts with utter horror that she
Yeah,
has not
yeah.
realized what he's been asking. I felt bad for her. Like,
She's
why
done.
are you so
How
upset
could you
about
be
this? Like, what's
that
wrong with
stupid?
you?
Well, she gave up brain for she specced into ass.
Like,
So,
why are
know.
you so emotionally unbalanced
Wait,
that you're so abjectly horrified to have left your husband waiting for like 2 seconds holding
Yeah.
a suitcase?
Whenever she doesn't understand Spanish, she gets one slap across the fucking cheek.
Yeah, I mean, she's just another depiction of like the patriarchy at work. You know, crushing these poor women down with their evil patriarchal rule. She's got to do it right
guess.
now, or she gets the paddle. We can't have that.
Must be.
We've got to give up all Western values and just submit to mass immigration of ants into our society and allow us to be changed into the superior communist society that they have.
All right. There's something incredibly disturbing in this movie, and it happens like a lot of children's movies, and I don't understand why. There is
Yeah.
a scene in the Emoji Movie where they encounter internet trolls, and then the internet trolls get deleted along with an app on the guy's phone.
Okay.
So there's a scene where they're in.
So they're
the trash
killed.
can.
They are executed.
Oh,
is what
okay.
happens.
This is very
Okay.
important. One of our main characters who has lost his way, and these internet trolls are in a trash can. They're in the phone trash can.
Yes.
And then from above, the other main characters like throw down a rope, and you're like, "Hey, other main character, like come on up and like come with us."
Yeah.
And so all the characters start climbing up the rope. They all are about to get up there, but then they they cut the rope, or it falls down due to incompetence, and the internet trolls are trapped in the trash can and literally die. Like they are trapped
Yeah,
there
they're
forever
deleted.
and die. And a scene in this movie, a fly who is sort of rude gets out of the frog and is immediately sucked into another frog and is
Yes,
going
to
to die.
Yes.
Why do you curse
again-
characters to literal death
No,
who are just
that's-
kind
no.
of mean? Literally,
No,
why?
that's dumb. That's dumb because this is not due to the ants like not caring about that guy. That guy just got randomly killed because this is nature and frogs
Yes.
eat bugs.
I think
Well,
you're...
the movie didn't have to have him die, obviously.
Munchie, I
There's
think
no
you were being
reason-
kind
It
of
had, like,
Mr.
1,000
Entry. I
other
think you're being a
people
little
die,
Mr.
too.
Entry because
Yeah,
like
but
bad
but I
things
like
do
this
happen.
guy. He spoke New York.
I liked him too. But like, yeah, I mean, it's nature. People die, and like, frankly, like cartoons were pretty grim, pretty commonly, and children just like got over it. So get over it, child. Is what I'm
not
saying.
saying that you can't
Agreed.
have death. I'm not complaining about the other deaths. I'm okay.
You're saying why was this character punished
You're
in
saying,
this
you're
way?
saying that
that's
only
exactly.
you're saying that
Okay.
only unlikable people should die.
No, I'm just saying there's no reason for
Genocide
this guy
now.
to die when the Adventure
Oh,
Act can be
get
way
the
more
fuck
awful. And I
outta
He
here.
want
died
him
for
to
a
die.
joke, Munchie. That's why he
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
But I didn't laugh because I like.
Well, me neither.
Instead, I wept,
I
a
didn't
single
laugh
tear.
for the most jokes, but they were in there regardless.
Oh, Beetle, who wasn't a water beetle. I'll never forget you and your
No,
legacy.
he lived. He lived. I don't know why he got to live and the cool fly didn't.
because
Yeah.
he was nice
Oh, you're
and
right.
happy.
Because that guy committed the sin of not obeying that command that the guy said to not hold on to that thing. He did hold on to that
Okay,
thing.
yeah,
and his
but that had
punishment
nothing
was
to do
die.
with what eventually got him eaten.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know-
a jerk.
I
He
don't know
was
why
a
the
jerk
setup
who
for
didn't
that
instantly
was-
listen to the main character, and his punishment
the
was
setup
death.
with the frog's uvula amounted to nothing. The guy died for completely unrelated reasons.
Yes.
I thought it was gonna be like he held on to it and then he like got stuck in
Yeah,
there for
and
some
like
reason.
didn't get
Here's a
spit out
question,
because
though.
he was
Here's an important
clinging
question.
to the thing.
Does our main character constitute a white savior? This is important. I'm gonna go with yes, and that's a problem for me.
How do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Or are
It
you
was-
just doing
well,
a joke?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm very
That's
serious
one
about
of
this
your
point.
jokes,
This is an
isn't
issue.
it?
Well, okay, question, and this is a legitimate question. I
Yeah.
don't know the answer. Does it? Okay, he doesn't show up and solve the ants' problems. He shows up and then has to go back to solve a problem that he caused. He's not
Yes.
like there showing the ants like the right way to do things.
No,
he
no.
brings with him a catastrophe and then has to avert it himself.
well, there
so I don't
is-
know if that's the white savior archetype.
See, but that's interesting because like it was his idea to work with the flies, right? Was it his or was it Zock's?
No, it was his
His.
idea to work with the
It
flies.
was
Okay,
his.
if it was his idea, then like, okay, that's him kind of extrapolating the ants' ideas of like community and like working with people who are different and like and kind of actually teaching them something. Oh, we can even think different outside ants. We can work with other people.
Are
But
we sure that it was his idea?
I'm gonna go
exclusively?
find out right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
No, it was.
You're
it
sure?
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe you.
like he was like, "Oh, I have an idea," and then the council guys is like, "Are you really gonna trust this human?"
That's
And-
right. That's right.
No,
Yeah.
no. That's not about the ants. He's saying all that was about him saying that they could shrink the exterminator.
No, I watched
we
this
need to know
like
this. We need to know this.
literally
No,
minutes ago.
That
It-
they
it-
the,
it-
in
no,
that
okay, the
scene they do
scene-
not mention the
scene
flies.
Okay,
I mean
the
the
scene
wasps.
goes like this.
But they
They're-
don't mention the idea itself. He just
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
"I have an idea."
So maybe we don't know.
The
Maybe
kid,
we don't know.
no,
then.
no, God damn
Okay.
it! The kid
All right.
is getting taken away by guards, and he's like, "Wait a second, okay, if
Yes.
we line up the gel that made me small, and we inject it into the exterminator's ear using the things, then we can shrink him." Then Zoc is like, "But how do we get close?" And then with a smile and a wily sense of adventure, he looks at the camera and says, "I have an idea." And then he's like, "Can you trust this person?" And Zoc's like, "Yes." And then the scene cuts, and then it's the kid taking him to the wasps. That's what
Okay,
happened.
that's
Okay.
pretty clear.
I'm
cut in that
satisfied.
case. Yeah.
I'm also watching
right.
because I also don't believe
He's a
you.
little
Wait a minute,
bit
you're
white
wrong.
savior-y.
I just watched it. You are a liar. That didn't happen.
do you mean?
I'm watching it right now. He's talking to the elder. The elder says, "Are you sure you can trust this human?" He's doing it right now.
Yes.
And he
what he just
looks
said.
up. They look between each other. And
Zoc's like, yes, I can.
Zoc actually does not respond. And then they cut. And then we're just at the scene with the fly. That's
Okay,
what
so
happens.
So we don't know.
Well,
So we
it's-
don't
So
know
we
it's
do not
implied
know
is
that
the
he
fly.
can.
No. Yeah. What the fuck? How does that disprove anything
okay,
of what I
you-
just
Oh
said?
my God, Munchie, you
Ben's right.
piece of shit! You're
No.
a liar. You're
Why
a
am I
goddamn
a
liar.
liar?
You're a
Okay,
Munchie's
it's
confirmed a
literally
liar, but-
implied that
Okay, it is-
like,
it is
the
implied,
double
it is
cut,
implied.
and he's going
It is
along with
not
the plan.
implied. It is not implied.
What?
Nothing
Okay,
in that
what
scene-
happened in the scene then?
shut
Literally
up.
explain.
Nothing in that scene implies anything about who comes up
Okay,
with the
but
fly
listen to
idea.
this, Ben.
The kid comes up with the idea to squirt the stuff into
No,
the guy's
he-
ear.
There's further,
says
Ben,
that
there's
he has
further
an
evidence.
idea of
There's
how to
further
get
evidence. Here's how we know. Okay, for one, in the scene with the ants, the kid waves the flag and does all the talking. So that's evidence part one. And the second part is during the conversation, like the whole point is, are you sure you want to trust this kid? Like trust like what he wants to
Nate?
try to save them. I
Nate,
feel like
Nate.
that implies.
Okay,
that,
Nate, take
no,
that scene.
I think-
No, listen, Nate.
Okay,
Okay, so that scene you just mentioned with "Are you sure you can trust him?" Can you go back a little bit and listen to the dialogue leading up to that scene?
Okay,
I
There
just-
is
I just wanna say-
absolutely no room for argument here. It's
Yes, there
literally
fucking is.
okay. It's the kid explains that he can shoot the goo, and then Zoc is, how are we going to get in his ear? And then the kid says, I have an idea.
No, that's not what happens.
Yes,
That's
it
just
does.
Ben,
says
wait,
what
Munchie's right.
happens.
Munchie's right. I just
Yeah.
watched it. The kid
I fucking
further
told
says,
you
after,
idiot! You
after
fucking-
bringing up
I
the goop,
told you.
After bringing up the goop, and they're like, can you trust him? The kid says, I have an idea, thus implying it was his idea to
Yep.
go talk to the wasps.
Jesus.
Well-
I can't believe we're getting so heated.
What a
over this.
fucking
deep
what
lore.
a fucking emotional roller coaster ride. this has been.
Okay. I demand an apology right now.
I was on your side, Munchie.
No,
so...
I demand an apology from Nate for giving false testimony.
But Munchie, Munchie said it zoomed in on his face though, and it did not do that. So I demand an apology from Munchie for
Oh my
false
god,
information.
I hate you, and I'm leaving the PCP. This is the last episode I'm ever gonna record.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Well, is there any other points that we need to make about this? Was there any other crucial elements we need to share?
When the music swells and
Yeah.
and the wasp fucking hits the guy in the ass, it just is the most
Pino.
euphoric climax I can reach in any movie. No other movie can give me this sweet release that the wasp scene gives me in Ant Bully. There's just no way.
I want to mention two jokes that I liked in this movie.
Okay.
So like the first
Yeah.
one was when what was it? What's it called? The thing that exploded.
A firecracker.
Yeah, the firecracker. Yeah, like
Yeah.
with the firecracker, how like they built up like this epic sort of scene with the firecracker, and then like they zoom out with a little pew when it exploded.
Yeah,
that
I
was
did
cute.
like that. I did like that. That was a nice
Though
touch.
I do
Although,
have a
you know,
complaint. The firecracker was a lot smaller. It didn't scale with how big it was originally, so that was silly.
I think I was kind of just like, that was a funny joke, but I think that it would have been funnier for one, and also more effective if we zoom out and we see the little poo, but then we also see from the ant's point of view like a fucking shockwave that like blows
I think it would have been
sends
overkill.
wind. I think we
maybe.
should have seen it
I
from
would've
both
liked it.
perspectives.
I wouldn't
think
mind,
the
but
way-
it would have been overkill for the joke.
I think the way
Okay.
I would have cut it, it's about to go boom, and then we see like just a couple of frames of like, and then like it immediately cuts back to like
yeah,
this-
okay, yeah, that would
like I think like we see the tiny boom and then we cut to the ants being like, whoa, but like
Yeah.
we don't actually see what the ants
This
saw.
movie
that
was
so
extremely
impressive to
poorly
them.
paced.
Okay,
Or
and-
it
I
like
thought- and the
left out
second-
weird
I
chunks.
don't think it was that poorly.
Sorry,
paced. I think
that
it
was the
could've
wrong
been
way to
tightened
say it. What
up.
I meant to say is that I feel things were like imbalanced. Like the flies, I thought should have gotten more time. Whatever. Go on. But
I thought the
go on.
flies were
Okay, yeah,
okay.
the
I thought
second
the
joke-
flies were developed enough.
The second joke I really liked was with the grandma when she tried to stop the sister
Also,
from
why are we calling
squishing.
them flies? They're fucking wasps.
Yeah,
Wasps.
Nate,
Sorry,
that's
sorry, I
your
fucked it
fault.
up. All right.
Yeah. So like when she's trying to stop the sister from squishing the ant, she's like, don't squish Lucas, and then she panics like, why didn't you take me? It's kind of, I don't know, because it's so funny because we know that she's right, but like to any sort of outsider, she would be completely cuckoo the way.
Mage, that character was the least funny thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Funny joke.
It was it was terrible. I died inside when I saw that.
It was funny.
And I'm dying right now.
I think it's mildly amusing that the grandma does know that the boy is a tiny ant
and she
thing,
believes
but she's
it,
not really doing anything about it. She's just
The
staying at home.
recontextualization of aliens doing it, I thought was funny, and I did like that aspect of it. But I thought she was a big failure of a character.
But can't she
to be
see
amusing.
that they're ants? She has
I
a
don't
magnifying
know.
glass so good that she can zoom in to see that Lucas is tiny.
Well, Ben,
but she
if-
doesn't
if-
see that the things carrying
If
him
you saw
are
that your
ants.
grandson had been shrunk to the size of an ant, would you assume it was ant magic or aliens, which you already know are real? Which would it be?
I mean,
There you go.
Okay, maybe she thought that the
aliens
aliens
could
were
be-
mind controlling the ants or
Or
something.
the
I
aliens
don't
look
know.
like ants.
All right.
You
They
don't
don't
know.
even really look like ants in this movie. They just kind of look like humans with like big.
They just look like fucking badasses. Is what they
Well,
look like. They look sick as hell.
All right, I have a
Yeah.
lore question that
Okay.
Munchie might be able to answer.
Sure.
For some reason.
I'm a genius, so yeah.
They go down to the hieroglyphs and they see the ant god, the
Yes.
queen of queens. And it's revealed kind of later that is like the sign on top of the exterminator's van.
That was a great twist. I loved that.
But like, what do they mean by that is the beginning of all ants?
Now
like, how
that's a
does
good
that
question.
make sense?
That's a
that
good
was
question.
kind of weird, and I
it's
don't
a god.
understand.
Do you not understand?
No, but Munchie,
why,
why
is
of-
that their god?
Yeah.
If it's the thing on top of the
Because like
the
the only
exterminator's van.
the only
I
other
think it's
time
just
they
a
would have seen
coincidence.
that.
I don't think that it's like
It
that
can't be
is-
That's a really dumb
coincidence.
coincidence.
To also have the exterminator on the hieroglyphic wall as well. Like the last time they would have
Okay.
seen this image is when the exterminator was there,
Yeah.
and thus they would have all died,
Okay.
or like one guy survived and he drew up the things.
That
maybe.
is fair, and I would say that a coincidence is not a good example. However, the ant's mother its design is basically just it is an ant, but with a halo.
And
So, like,
wings.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
But,
Yeah, but that's
it's
what the
I don't think
logo
it's
looks
that hard
like.
It
to
looks
have
no,
the
it looks
coincidence.
very specifically like this ant. They're
Yeah, I
just-
agree. I mean, like,
There's
they
no
also
doubt.
know-
It is 100% that simple. There's
Yeah,
no
they
doubt.
also
it
have the
happened.
knowledge of the exterminator.
Yeah, the cloud breathing.
By the way, I like the exterminator scene at the beginning was one of the most horrific pieces of animation I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
And
It's Shrek. It's Shrek.
it did make me want to die. But that being said, I like the exterminator using gas clouds to kill is a really sick gimmick and reminds me of Nito from Dark Souls. And that guy's a cute skeleton, so I like that. That's my point on that.
I mean, what's a gimmick of it? He's an exterminator. He shoots poison gas.
well, I'm just
at
saying that I think
insects.
like a cool weapon is miasmas of death. Is my point. I mean, yes,
Sure,
of
but I
course
mean,
that's what would be
I don't
used
know
in
what
this
you would.
movie.
I don't know what else you would
You
expect an
didn't-
exterminator.
why
to
can't
do.
I just like a thing,
you
Ben?
didn't
Why
use the
can't I
right
just like a
terminology
thing?
to express your happiness? You didn't use the right terminology, Nate.
That's
No,
what
I'm
Ben is saying
that
to me.
I don't see like what else would he use?
Well, Ben, I don't know. Like the villain of this
gun.
movie could be a guy who walks around stomping. Instead, it's a guy who sprays things because he's an exterminator. I like that. Why can't I like that? It's good.
It's just that's just what you would expect an exterminator to do.
Okay.
It's not like a clever
But you know what, Ben?
twist.
You know what,
It's
Ben?
not like a
Sometimes I
clever
buy
decision.
chocolate. Sometimes I buy chocolate. I expect it to taste good. Then I taste it, and it tastes good. And you know what? Are you going to stop me from doing that too, Ben? Is this
Yeah,
a
of
problem
course
for
it
you?
what a
fucking
terrible
tastes good.
gimmick!
It's
What do you
chocolate,
mean?
idiot.
Oh,
Stop
it's a
enjoying
gimmick
it.
that
what a
it's
gimmick!
sweet.
What a gimmick
yeah,
that
oh,
is!
Jesus
It
Christ!
didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
That was really not good.
What do you expect,
Right.
Nate? That's what chocolate does. It tastes sweet.
I'm
But
sorry.
why would you praise the chocolate for tasting good? Like
Ben,
obviously
no,
it's
no.
gonna
What do you
taste
mean
good.
that
Like
you
it's
like it? That's why.
Yeah, why would
yeah,
you
but it
praise
doesn't
the
just-
chocolate
it
for
doesn't
tasting
deserve
good?
praise
Ben,
for
you've
being
entered
what
a
it
strange
is.
realm where
I
no
don't-
mortal has been.
I don't think Nate was praising. He just mentioned a scene that he liked. It's
At
like,
no point was I saying that like I was surprised or like that this was unexpected. I just said
That we're
that, like,
so mean to
it's
each other for
I'm
literally
just-
no
I
reason.
just don't
There's
even
no
see why
reason for
I
us
just
to
don't
be
even
so
see why
hostile.
it's. I don't even see why it's noteworthy
Okay,
at
Ben,
all.
There's
like when I
absolutely
watch
no
a
reason
Disney
for
movie
this.
and like it's well animated, and I point out like, oh, that scene was well animated. Are you gonna say, well, of
Then I
course it was well animated? Let's
close
not get
your video and
excited here. Let's
unsubscribe
calm
because
the
your
fuck down.
observations are
We all
fucking
expected it to
puerile
be
and
well
banal.
animated.
Okay,
That's
about
what you're
speaking,
saying.
guys,
You
okay.
fucking bore me.
Guys,
Yeah.
speaking of observations, you know what I liked? Like,
Okay,
so
okay.
I was anticipating very, like, I really didn't want this, but I knew it was coming up. The whole, like, sort of liar reveal story sort of basically is like, oh, it was you summoned the guy, shunned
Yeah.
the sort of, scene, and then he gets shunned, and then he, goes and does the right thing. And I felt like, I thought it was going to be really dragged out and really annoying.
It was
and
basically nothing.
yeah, exactly. And I was so
And,
happy that it was
frankly-
just they just and over with.
Yeah, this was really my problem with a lot of it. Like, hashtag I stand with Zoc, because he's literally right. That this person is a genocidal
Oh my
monster.
god, yeah. That's
And
probably
he got
my
off
biggest problem
so
with the movie
scot-free.
is just how easily all the other ants get over the fact that they're literal destroyer god who like ruined their shit over and over again. And like
It's
they're
funny
fine with
because
them.
like they have like a one line to imply that it's not really a big deal, even
Yeah.
though it's
the
it's
one
also
that the girl says, the
girl
sassy
says, "Oh, it
black
took- it
voice
took-
of reason ant
yeah,
says.
it took me all morning to rebuild my house. Like, well, that's not very long, but like for an ant, it might be a while.
Haha,
But
he killed my son. Ha 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 ha.
but like yeah, that's the thing. It's
is
also
it
implied
implying
that he
hasn't
killed
actually killed
and
anyone?
drowned.
I think it is
I
implying
think,
that.
I think maybe they're trying to imply that, but the way they show it initially, with him spraying the water down and
like
drowning
floods,
everyone.
like all the baby ants, like all
Yeah,
the baby
people
ants who
almost
obviously
die.
cannot
People almost
swim
die.
are obviously dead. Like there's no way they can't not be dead.
This is a weird conflict thing. I guess we're really supposed to assume he has not killed any ants,
and
so
what
it's not
a
a big
terrible
deal.
prisoner of war as well. He's acting like such a little fucking shit when they graciously spared his dumbass life. He's like being so mean to this person when
Yeah,
they
I
like
really didn't
she's
like
the
him.
only reason he's alive right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
okay, he
Yeah,
says
like when like they call it like the big smooth black rock or whatever. And he's
Yeah.
like, that's called the street.
Oh, that fucking moment.
It's like-
That's called the street, you fucking retarded ant.
It's like,
Why
what
don't
does
you
it
know
matter
that?
what does it matter what these talking
Yeah.
ants call what
Relax.
you know as a
it doesn't
human?
matter, dude. Fucking calm.
I
Like,
was-
how
I
about be
was a
impressed
little
that this guy
annoyed.
fucking crossed a giant concrete literal
Oh,
hellscape?
But wait, okay, this might not be a plot hole, but if he's acting so impressed that he crossed the street. Oh, actually, never mind. That's not even a plot hole. I forgot. Never mind. Stop.
I was
Delete that
I was
part of the
annoyed that
podcast.
okay in the initial trial he says I didn't know ants had feelings and families, you're just stupid ants, and it just serves to make the ants even madder, and I understood that made sense.
That does make sense,
but
yeah.
he doesn't bring it up again. Like when Zoc is talking to him about it, he says, I guess I just didn't think about what he was doing. No, just say like you should stick with your fucking story because it's true. Like Jesus Christ, I didn't think you were like had human intelligence. Like if I had
Well,
known, I
that's
would
what I-
obviously not have done these terrible things.
That's what I got from it. Oh, was he not implying one? Like the one-on-one scene with Zoc is where Zoc like starts to like get over being mad at this genocidal freak. But like
think
he's like
not
saying that
understanding that you were human, that you were like intelligent is like that doesn't stop being a thing. Like I don't think that's like
that's the
not a
ironclad
valid
defense
reason
you should
anymore.
not budge from. That makes sense and that is reasonable.
I mean, obviously, again, this is due to the fact that he's a kid and he just, I don't know. I think
I killed ants when I was a
It should have
kid.
been differently. It should have been different.
Who
It should
here
have been-
killed
should have been
ants as a
different.
child? Who here killed ants? I did. I stopped them.
Because I'm not a Republican, Nate. Unlike you.
It's
didn't,
because
like,
it's
flood
because the
anthills or
first thing
anything.
the first thing Munchie
Maybe it
ever
did,
did
I
was
don't know.
watch the Ant Bully, and
yeah,
then from then on, he was,
I
he
knew
was
better,
morally
Nate. I knew
superior.
better.
Well, you're right. I never saw it.
Like I have on occasion. Actually, I don't know whether I burned an ant because they move too fast with a magnifying
Yeah, that's
glass. But I
tough.
have burned a leaf and near some ants.
I remember
That's the
stomping them.
I
furthest
had
I've ever
because
got.
the
I've
ants
never
were kind
really
of invading
destroyed
my
them.
house, so we kind of had to pour boiling
all bets are
water.
off.
Well,
yeah.
okay. I mean, I have put down like ant bombs and stuff, but I haven't like gone in my way to like kill ants for pleasure.
I have, as a child, as a young man.
Okay,
yeah, just
can
went
I
out and
talk
stomped
about
some ants.
one joke that didn't make me laugh, but made me feel extremely uncomfortable? When fucking Bruce Campbell Ant literally admits that he has like the scat tag on Rule 34 Perial like as his homepage. When he's like, when they're crawling under the door, and he's like, "So you made this out of your own poop, right?" Nice. And he has a devilish smile on his face, like he's fucking like excited to like swim in shit, like he loves.
Okay, hang on.
He's just admiring fine craftsmanship.
Was not the point of that joke. This is what I inferred.
Would you not be impressed if someone built a giant house out of poop?
Well, I just wouldn't be happy to step in. Is all.
I know a girl. I went to school with a girl who made a book out of her own
ants.
poop at one point. That's a true fact.
You know
what?
one joke that was
just think
actually
Bruce
kind of.
Campbell
Whoa, Nate, say that again. What the fuck?
One of my friends. I mean, I knew this girl too, but I wasn't exactly friends with her. Like, she went to art school and at one point made a book, I think about poop, out of poop.
Like she wrote it in poop.
Yeah, and I don't think it was like human necessarily, but like.
Munchie,
yeah.
That's why you shouldn't go to art school.
Very good reason.
Just have a goddamn plan in place. How you're gonna fucking turn this investment into a positive outcome.
I remembered one joke. I remembered one joke that was like.
Remember Sam Hyde? He went to art school too.
It was clever, but I don't know whether I found it funny. It was when, after the explosion, and then everyone's suddenly praising the destroyer, and they say, he's called Peanut because he has the brain the size of a peanut, and obviously to an ant. That's big.
That was a thinking man's joke, and I appreciated
it.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
That was pretty good.
Oh, you know what the best part of the entire movie was? How like every single character has a different color gradient dots, like halftones on their eyes. On the corner of their eyes, every ant has their own unique color that is in the corner of their eyes. It's halftones.
Huh. Did anyone else
I noticed that they have like a golf ball texture to their eyes.
Yeah,
did you guys like that?
Yeah,
that was cool.
Halftone,
that was cool.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to say that at the end of the movie, or towards the end, when like. He's been given the wizard name, and he's been accepted by the colony, and they're like, all right, we're gonna send you home because we love you now. And he was saying goodbye, and they were giving their cheesy goodbyes, calling back, doing their cheesy, like, obvious callbacks to the first things they said. He's like, oh, and the wizard never says impossible, and I should have eat you, but the queen says I can't. Against my better judgment and all common decency, I actually felt a little bit emotional about it. So I guess the movie beat me. I was defeated by it. It won, and I have to say that it's good because of that.
Okay,
I felt nothing, and I will never feel anything.
I think the consensus is it was way better than we expected it to be.
Yeah,
I mean that is true. It was better than I thought it'd be.
I kind of recently have rewatched ANTZ with a Z.
Yeah.
For a thing, and it's awful. Like, it's absolutely fucking terrible. I think we should do that for the next bonus episode.
ANTZ movies.
Yes.
The
oh my
Bug
God.
Wars are on, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Today we'll do Ant-Boy, then
the-
we'll do Ants, then we'll do A Bug's Life, and let's keep doing. This is the new gimmick for the bonus episode. This is just going to be Ant movies from here on out.
Sounds good.
Because like it's. Well, I won't go into why because I can't really remember exactly why it's worse. But like this movie is like. It's more pure and it's less stupid, and I'm surprised that this is like at the below Bug's Life, I think, because I haven't seen Bug's Life in a long time.
Yeah,
but, like,
I really liked
movie,
Bug's Life as a kid.
As far as ant movies goes, Bug's Life, Ant Bully has dethroned Ants. Ants sucks.
What about Ant-Man by Marvel?
I haven't
Even
seen
worse.
that. I don't watch Marvel
That's
movies.
trash. It was okay. I saw it once, mostly.
I just want to call out that one reference that one ant made. Don't fire until you see the I forget what he said, but that's
the wax of his ears.
Yeah. Don't fire until you see the whites of his eyes. Nice reference. Good job.
It was the most embarrassing line in the whole fucking movie.
Wait, what the fuck? No, I mean it made sense in context.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also they couldn't see the whites of his ears.
You know what? It was because like initially in the movie they put in the guy's ear, right? So like
that's the whole point. They're trying to get into his ears. Idiot.
I wasn't thinking. I for some reason I was thinking they were going for his mouth, and I'm just like, why are they just making a weird joke about earwax now? That's gross and dumb. Okay, all right.
Fool.
I got it.
It was
I may
actually
have skipped over
right,
that part where they
right.
actually turn him into a small boy.
What? Wait, whoa, hold on. Are you admitting that you did not watch the movie in its entirety? Are you saying you didn't 100% Metal Gear Solid 5 and you're making a review about it right now, Nate?
I probably watched about 95% all told.
Actually, I kind of like lost focus at the moment of the transformation, and I looked at the screen and I was like, wait, what? I thought he was having a dream. Like, I thought this was a nightmare sequence, and I was like, wait, is this real? And then I did my due diligence. I went back and rewatched it just to make sure that yes, it was real.
I got the idea.
I can't believe you guys didn't watch literally the best scene in the entire fucking movie that I just went on and on about.
I did. I went back and I watched it again.
I did not, and I never will.
You are a good citizen. You are a good citizen, Ben. I'm talking directly to Nate right now.
All right, you know what?
I did watch did I mention that I watched it at 1.5 speed? Highly recommended.
That's fine. This movie is literally just Star Wars, but with more themes and better art direction.
It has not one.
You keep saying that.
Themes.
In no way is this movie like. I mean, it's kind of a hero's journey, I guess.
No,
but...
what do you? Okay, it's literally exactly like Star Wars. The very end of it. Okay, like basically from
Final
the moment
Fantasy
when
12
they decide,
is exactly like Star Wars. This is not
when
exactly
they
like Star Wars.
decide to like get on the fucking the wasp. Then go and hit
Hey,
him.
for the last time, nobody's played Final Fantasy. Nobody cares about Final Fantasy.
That is literally just the Death Star scene. It's the Wasps are X-wings, and you know the rebels are the ants, and they're going up. They're trying to get this very special formula into a like a what do you call it? Like a
crevasse,
hole.
a crevasse,
you know,
whatever.
a crevasse, a fucking a weak point. A weak point. They're trying to get into a weak point
Yeah.
of this giant death apparatus, which will destroy them all if they don't do it in a specific amount of time. And then not only that, but after they do it, it is literally just the throne room scene from Star Wars, and they all walk up. It's like the exact same shot. Guys, back me up. Put this on the Patreon.
You're only talking about the last like 10 minutes. Of the movie
it's just
tops.
Star Wars. Yeah, exactly.
Just because it ends with a very similar like fight scene to the final attack run on the fucking Epcot Center.
That proves it's Star Wars. That proves it's Star Wars.
Yeah, okay. I can see.
Can we talk?
Well, who's the Han Solo?
That asshole guy, that one annoying guy.
I think Zuck would be.
Yeah.
No, Zuck's gonna be Obi-Wan. Zuck's definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, because he's not a mentor.
Julia Roberts
He's
is
absolutely a mentor. What do you? He makes him a young wizard.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay. The Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You can't say not at all.
Is Hova.
Well, Luke and Han don't like each other at first, but they grow.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. It's perfect. It's all falling into place.
Okay,
but then
there are dual roles.
Is Harambe the Leia?
Yeah. No. She's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Maybe
she's the mentor.
Maybe.
She's the mentor who teaches him how to be more like a bug.
But she doesn't actually teach him anything of value.
What do you mean? She unlocks his ant abilities and she teaches him the power of healing.
His ant abilities don't do anything. It's his human ingenuity that saves the day.
No. Literally, his realizing his inner ant and thereby obtaining ant superpowers is what saves the day.
I mean, okay. I guess you could say
just
that.
Just like the Force.
It allows him to do one thing, one time.
Right. Because Star Wars is like a very formulaic movie.
It allows him
in terms
to save
of, like,
that wasp, which is the only thing that matters.
I did like
like it has all the types of characters.
Yeah.
Like the mentor character is like a staple of adventures. Like
Lucas,
that is a real thing.
George Lucas
Dude,
Nickel. Holy shit!
When you said when Lucas grew up before, I was like, oh yeah, George Lucas. I should have said it. I should have said it back when I had the chance.
I stole your thunder.
Right. Can we talk about the bully scene, the redemption / attack thing?
Why are bullies always fat? Why in every piece of media are bullies the fat ones? Because that's the opposite.
Because all right, here's why.
Because fat people are bad. They're bad to the bone.
No, here's why. Every single artist is always a skinny soy boy, right? And they get beat up by big bullies. And then they grow up into people who make movies, and that's why.
What if the depiction of fat people as bullies is a big bullying campaign by these skinny artists, and really the true bullies were them all along?
You know what it is? It's that they don't want to make their bullies attractive, which is how most bullies are. They're like, like
Chads.
Yeah, Chads.
alphas. Yeah, that's
So
right.
they don't want to make them
They
attractive
lord the
anyway, so
club.
they make them
They
bad.
lord the
Guys,
club.
no, listen.
that's not true. Bullies are people who are unhappy and they fuck with people. That's the whole point. Lucas is unhappy because he gets bullied, so he bullies the ants. This guy obviously this guy's got his own problems that make him like bully other people.
But we don't
like,
care about that. We just physically assault him.
Listen. No, it's a visual shortcut. Like big usually means power, and the bully has power over him. It's a visual shortcut.
Yeah, but
It's
that's lame.
lazy.
Powerful.
It's lazy. It's
Big
not
means
good.
powerful.
but, yeah.
Ugly means unlikable.
Yeah, basically.
There you go. Bam.
But also all the human models are ugly in this
given
but in
given
real
the
life,
context,
like-
given the context that our main character is literally a redeemed bully, why is nothing done to attempt to redeem the bully at the end of the movie, which really would have been thematically appropriate?
Well, his crew gets redeemed because it turns
But they
out they
weren't-
were just intimidated by him all
So
along.
what we've learned is that like the followers can be redeemed, but true bullies are to be excised and cannot be converted.
Same with the exterminator guy who was just doing his job. He's also doesn't get any redemption.
He wasn't just doing
If he
his
knew
job.
that
He
the
was being
ants
a
were
huge
conscious,
dick.
see that's the thing. If he knows that the
Yeah.
ants are conscious, and have a whole civilization, and just revels in their death, regardless, that's one thing.
Yeah.
He
but I don't
doesn't know
think
the
that's
extent
case.
of the genocide that he's committing.
I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if he did.
I just wanted to say, like, the kid that, like, the bully gets annoyed with by
Yeah.
repeating his phrases was, like, kind of, like, interestingly, like, a subtle, like, real character thing. But, like, usually the bully is like, I'm evil, and then the sidekicks are like, yeah, we like him because he's evil and we're evil too. But he's bigger than us, and he's the one who does the punching, and that's just how it is statically. And when the bully gets beat, the bully's followers run away in fear, and it's all like, that usually happens. The idea that this bully has this gang of people, and, like, one of them is just kind of annoying to the bully.
You know who that is?
I don't know.
You know who that
It
character
sort of
is?
humanizes me a little bit.
That's fucking
it's,
Silver
a little
Spoon. That character's Silver Spoon right there. The best. Oh wait, not Silver Spoon. Yeah, Silver Spoon. Best character.
What?
Best pony.
No,
I thought you were talking about the voice actor being the same.
Diamond Tiara likes Silver Spoon most of the time.
She bullies her too.
She's kind of catty to her, I guess.
She totally is. It's not a two-way street.
This bully clearly despises that kid.
As well, okay, fair enough, whatever.
Yeah, it's like no
I
matter
guess
how,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Though.
it's just funny to me. I also empathize with that bully. It's like having this posse and this one guy is just like,
Here,
I didn't
is a
like
very-
I didn't like the scene because like he didn't even address the people. He just said, "Oh, we're small but we're big together." And he wasn't even like, "Hey guys, we can take him on." He just assumed they're gonna line up with him.
Sometimes all it
it's
takes is
just
body
lucky-
posture to indicate alphaness.
No, I agree. It was really funny in a bad way. How like all he has to do is just say anything, and like it's just lucky for him that it just so happens that all of these kids are only there because they're afraid of the bully.
I would argue that that's
whatever.
pretty common among like gangs like that. If you show any amount of backbone, you will
Okay, but
be
no, but
like,
no, listen,
fear
these-
is more deep rooted than that. Like they would have needed a bit of a more talking to than just mentioning. At least
Like,
address them.
if they were
Bully-
actually afraid of this kid, I don't think that this would have been enough to change their minds.
and also it's kind of presumptive for this boy to this Lucas guy to assume that they don't like him.
Yeah, I agree. It was presumptuous, and it lucky for him it worked out. But I think more likely the other kids would have been like, fuck you, for talking back to our friend. Who, yeah, maybe I'm afraid of him. I don't know. They turned on such a dime.
Lucas was like
it was bad.
90%
It was just bad.
school shooter by the time. Well, thank God he got turned into an ant and saved by their quaint ways.
Like,
Here is a
like
question.
the only thing that was like set up is like that one kid who annoyed the bully, and it would have been like
he do
them
that at
two
the
against
beginning, too?
everyone.
Yeah.
He annoyed him. It's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, he did.
I'm
Okay,
trying to beat
I
up this
forgot.
kid.
I forgot that
and
happened.
and
at
like
the
that was the only one of them that was set up to potentially not like his the bully guy.
We only need one.
So it would have been them. It would have been them two, and then the whole gang of them were like, yeah, we'll beat you up together, and that would have been it.
Here's a
real
question
life.
of great importance, and this is a huge distinction. So they have a potion to make Lucas small, and they have a potion to turn him back. But is that a potion to turn him back or to make him big? Because there's an important distinction there. can you get that potion to an ant and have the ant turn big?
Yeah.
If so, human-ant relations will be changed forever by Nicolas Cage.
That reminds me. I was so annoyed, like, when they were trying to deal with the exterminator. Why didn't they just return Lucas back to normal size and have him talk it out, rather than, like, sacrifice all the lives of all the bugs?
Because they're retarded.
Plot hole.
Yeah.
Plot hole.
Like early on, it was like when he wanted to go back and call the exterminator, it made sense because like they wouldn't trust him to do that.
But they trusted him to go to the wasp nest, their mortal enemies.
Yeah,
and,
by
like,
that point,
make a deal.
By then he'd earned Zock's trust, and Zock is like he's the fucking wizard, like he knows what's up.
And like at that point, he could have said, "Just turn me big." And I can.
You're right. Yeah. By that point, if they're willing to do the wasp plan,
there's a reason.
They should have been willing.
There's a reason that he. Because remember how he thinks that he actually did cancel the exterminator because he called the pizza place. He was under the impression that he had in fact canceled.
But
when he realized, when he realized that he's there,
at that point he should have taken the
potion. They could have given
him.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he didn't.
Or just turn one of the ants giant and fucking bite his fucking head off.
All right, I have one last thing to say. I don't know how much more we can talk about this, but
same.
There's no end. There's no end to the wonders of this movie.
This can go on forever, and I hope that it does.
All right. Well, I will say my last piece because near the end, after he's like the bullies are now his friends, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go play Smash?" And they're like, "Yeah, do you want to come?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, like
I'll catch up.
I'll catch up. There's one thing I want to do. Something I have to do." And I was imagining like smash cut. He gets the hose and he just kills the ant.
This is what you fucking get for not giving me the potion
for
sooner.
enslaving me.
It's the only way. It's the only way to get closure.
Yeah.
And I will make that in a YouTube poop video on Give and Take.
Like cut to the clip at the beginning where he's drowning.
Would you have the same music track, the same like audio track, so it's like the triumphant music.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Hippo, please edit this episode so you can do it right now. Please.
Oh, maybe.
This movie is literally like a 7 or an 8. It's perfect.
That's what perfect sounds like to me. A 7 or an 8.
I'd give it a 7.
Real quick.
I'd give it a 7. Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of with Mage. I'm orbiting around like a 5 or maybe even a little less. I do have a question though. Now that
when watched at 1.5 speed, it's a solid 7.
Okay, well maybe I should have done that.
Slower, it would probably be a lot less.
Now that I know, now that our boy knows, Peanut Lucas knows that ants are sentient. Is he going to go on to have like a rich like civil rights career, like campaigning for ant and just insect rights? Because he knows.
If he doesn't, he
is committed. He is allowing genocide to happen every day.
That's why I was thinking of the B movie with the whole court thing.
Yes,
like
right.
Like he has to do that now.
Okay,
he has to tell them.
The B movie is great. I don't know why people think that it's not great. It's a great movie.
Because no one's watched
Jerry
it. That's why.
A comedic genius. Yeah, they just think that it's bad because it's a meme.
I haven't watched it, and I assume it's shit.
No, it's great.
And I continue to do so at this very moment.
I've heard that it is very strange.
Yeah,
but I don't know whether
crazy.
It's bad.
Because Jerry Seinfeld wrote it, and Jerry Seinfeld's weird.
He wrote it, huh? He wrote it.
Yeah. He came up with the idea.
He was incredibly heavily involved in everything.
Yeah, really? Okay, all right. That's interesting.
I wish to end all life now. Can we?
I agree. Since it wasn't written by Larry David, though, I'm less interested. But whatever. Guys, do you have anything else to say about this fucking shit movie?
I'm pretty fucking done with the ant bully.
I don't think I can ever be done with the ant bully. I don't know if that's a state of being that I can be in.
Stay tuned for next bonus episode where we review the Ant Bully video game for Game Boy Advance and give you a full breakdown.
Oh yeah, that game is literally the Minish Cap. If you Google it, you'll see.
I was checking it out. Looks good.
I kind of want to play it.
Makes sense.
All right, next bonus episode.
Hypocrite review.
Next bonus episode, ants. We'll see. We'll see if our interest is sustained.
All right, guys, if you want us to review ants, up your pledges double, and then the next day all of our Patreon pledges go to 0.
Next bonus episode, Medea goes west.
Medea goes.
Ernest goes.
The next bonus episode, Medea's burden.
More like Medea wests away.
All right. That's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. You're patrons. You know the score.
Thanks,
follow
patrons.
us, give us money more.
Patron!
I hope this
Hooah!
is worth
Good
it
job.
for you.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye! Hooah!